Hi and welcome to another beginner's guide for Escape from Tarkov. This time I will focus on most common mistakes a new player can make when he starts playing the game. Of course there are many tips you can throw in this kind of video, but I feel like the one I have chosen should impact your survival rate the most. So without further ado, let's start with first tip. Tarkov has a unique concept of raid system. You pick map, equip gear, try to survive and then extract. But there is one caveat. Spawn system is like a game within a game. It's a complete different beast you should try to tame. Right now spawn points are predetermined, while they are still random and not always all of them will be used, either because there are not enough players in the lobby or teams spawned in one of the points. Knowing where people can spawn is a very important information. Some of Tarkov maps are small in terms of spawn zones, that means you can actually get into firefight in the first few minutes of raid, so don't get fooled by the elusive safety of spawn zone. Be prepared for fight right away. What many experienced players have done is either they learned about spawns just by playing the game, or most likely they went into the official Wiki and looked for maps that have all PMC spawn points marked on them. So let's actually look at some examples on Customs map. Let's say you spawned near Trailer Park. You know that there can be a PMC or team spawning in parking nearby, and there is another spawn near railroad. Now, if you will go fast towards garages, you will risk getting sniped by somebody watching your location. It's rare, but it happened to me a few times. If you'll be lucky and survive, now you have to worry about two other spawns inside garages, and then as you move towards map center, you have to think about all other spawns or you can get easily ambushed. Now let's say you spawned near railroad. You have a quite nice spawn to just completely ignore other players and just move to the great loot spot that is MetLab and probably be the first one to enter the building. Your other option is to set an ambush for people that will be crossing the river. You still have to worry about spawn close to you and the one near the bridge, because they can also try to snipe you when you will be crossing the river. So in that case your best bet is just going fast and sprint to the other side. So as you can see, knowing spawn points is a very crucial information that can influence your early raid movement and tactics. You should try to formulate a plan for each of the spawn locations, trying to find the best possible route to stay alive, and all of a sudden you'll have a much better early raid experience and should survive more. My second tip is closely tied to spawn system. Many new players will instantly start running the second they spawn, making a lot of noise and alarming anybody that spawn close to them. Sound is a very powerful tool in Tarkov, and as you could probably tell by now, running will make a lot of noise. It gets even worse, because most of the players will use headsets, so their hearing distance is quite far. Most likely scenario is that player that heard you running will just patiently wait around the corner, and as soon as he sees you, he will blast you with all he has in the store. This running tip actually extends beyond spawning. Many players are very impatient in Tarkov and run all the time. There are many reasons for that, but if you face semi-competent player on your path while running, you will most likely die. Of course it's not that simple, and running can actually save you on many occasions, and if you watch any high-skilled player, you could probably notice that they make a lot of noise and still win fights when ambushed. Well, here is the thing. They are just highly above average in terms of skill and reaction time. They also know a lot about the game and just have more experience, so as a new player try to play it slower and then either embrace the tactical approach or increase your speed when you will know what you're doing. Alright, so we know basic survival tips, but one of the big hindrances new players faces is not knowing anything about ammunition. Can't blame you guys, for some strange reason it's not explained in the game at all, while in fact it's the most crucial information you just have to know about. In Tarkov it's all about ammunition when it comes to damage values. Guns are just the platforms that use certain ammunition types, so the same bullet shot from 5.7 pistol will deal the same amount of damage as bullets shot from P90 SMG. Two most important things that describe ammo are flash damage and penetration value. First one is straightforward, it's how much damage bullet will do when it hit the target. There's more into this because there is armor damage reduction, but for now let's keep it simple. Now the second stat, penetration value, a very important stat that can be a matter of your life and death. If you want to have a reliable way of killing your opponents, you just have to use bullets with a very high penetration chance. There is a quick trick to determine what given bullet is capable of in terms of penetration. Just divide the penetration value by 10 and this is the armor class that your round should penetrate with ease. So the most common armor players will use will be class 4 armor and occasionally class 5 armor. As you can see, if you go against somebody with that kind of protection, with AK-545 PS round that has only 25 penetration value, you will have a very hard time killing your enemy with thorax shots. On the other hand, if you will go with BT round with 37 penetration, that is a completely different story. In short, try using the highest penetration value ammunition you can afford and always make ammo your top priority. Never save on ammo, save on everything else. You don't want to be in a situation where you fired few shots but your target survived because of bad ammo you were using, and then he turns around and drop you. Next tip is very simple but a very crucial one. Never repeat the same corner. Simple as that. If you can't reposition or change angle, then at least wait some time before peeking again. If you are in a firefight with a decent player and he is holding an angle on you, you can be almost sure that the moment you repeat you will get dropped. Good player will put his crosshair in the place where your head should be after you repeat and it's game over. Also in some situation, fast repeat may also mean you will just move into spray of your opponent, something you want to avoid for sure. Last tip is a little more broad than other tips I talk about. It's about grit. Well, it should be probably my first tip because I often say that the grit is the number one killer in Tarkov. So the thing is, just don't risk it when you don't have to. If you have a good loot on you, go for extract. You also don't have to check each and every building or loot spot on the map. Just be happy with what you have and exit the raid. The most common mistake in this category is just trying to loot the body of player you just dropped right after the kill. So you run like a happy little bunny excited for the goodies, but the wolves are there, sneaking in the shadows. It could be a teammate or somebody that was close and heard the gunshots, so just be patient with looting, especially when the body is in the open. Take some time, clear the area and then loot. If anything, one thing is certain in Tarkov, there is always one more enemy somewhere close waiting for your mistake. Alright, that's all I have in this one. If you are interested in more tips on this topic, I have a detailed solo survival guide that goes over much more stuff and should help you stay alive more. You can also find some other tips and tricks and beginner's guide on my channel, so feel free to look around. Thanks for watching and see you in raids.